First of all, the idea of the SM9 is to come out with unique concepts. That's to say, being able to emulate main monitors, so being able to reach very high SPL, and then also taking care of the studio size, because nowadays, obviously, studio rooms and control rooms are smaller and smaller, so it's not that convenient to integrate main monitors into it. That's the reason why the SM9 design is based on this principle, let's say, to develop a compact monitoring solution, being able to control everything from the very, very, very low end, 30 Hz, to the very top end, 40K, in the smallest dimension as possible. So, because of that, we developed a unique concept which is based on 8-inch sub working along with an 11-inch passive radiator on the top. So it's just a cone on the top, no voice coil, no magnet, but it's working along with the 8-inch sub. So it's working like a bass reflex enclosure without the drawback of a bass reflex enclosure. That's to say, as soon as you reach the SPL limit of the port, you will not have enough area to move and remove all the air, so you will damage the low end because the space is just not big enough. To avoid that, we came out with the passive radiator technology, which is really interesting. So to sum up, the area of the passive radiator can be compared to the area of a port, so 11-inch diameter, very big port. And then you can precisely fine-tune the passive radiator by adjusting the weight of the passive. So it's like adjusting the length of a port.
Of the weight, yeah.
Without the drawback. So you have all the benefits of a sealed enclosure, that's to say a very, very stable tonal balance, without the drawback of a sealed enclosure, that's to say a sealed enclosure for the same size cannot reach the same frequency response than the bass reflex one. And here you have the bass reflex benefit, so extending the frequency response in the low end, but within a very compact size monitoring system.
Okay.
We use two focal patented technologies, the W cone sandwich for the bass and mid driver, which is composed of glass fiber on the back, composite foam in the middle, and glass fiber on the front. So by adjusting the number of layers of glass fiber, you will adjust the rigidity of the cone as well as the weight, and by adjusting the thickness, you will control the damping capabilities. So you can precisely fine-tune the frequency response of the speaker right from the cone design. For the tweeter, we choose our top-end technology, which is beryllium inverted dome tweeter. So beryllium is the most rigid raw material you can find on Earth. Yeah. And thanks to this, you can have a very, very light cone that allows the system to reach 40K. So that's to say, allowing the sound engineer to control even the slightest details on the reverb tapes and so on. Yeah. And then we came out with a new technology, a new focal patented technology in the SM9 called Focus. And Focus is two monitors into one box. So you have a three-way speaker from 30 Hz to 40K, as well as a two-way monitor composed of the 6.5-inch mid and the tweeter. If you act on the side panel switch here, you will deactivate the sub part and you will only have the two-way monitor in order to get a frequency response from 90 Hz to 20K. Thanks to this two-way solution, you will A/B your mix and you will make sure that the mix transfer quality will be fine even on bass challenge systems such as iPod docking station, multimedia speakers and so on. It's also very interesting and highly suitable for sound engineers because thanks to this, you can also exactly know if, as an example with a track adding a lot of information in the bass and low mid area, you know exactly when you go for the three-way to the two-way solution. If you need to EQ the low mid or to EQ the low end, or if you need to compress the low end or the low mid area, depending on the tonal balance you get from the three-way to the two-way solution.
So welcome aboard, welcome in the spaceship. This is my spaceship, and this is also a recording studio with the brand new SM9 from Focal, and this is amazing speakers come from space, and I'm very excited to use this kind of speakers to do production, recording, also mastering. This is like a complete solution for me, everything in one box, and also very precise, a lot of stereo. So in this studio, in this room, I'm doing a lot of different stuff, like let's say some vocal stuff with Chris Willis or Econ. When Econ came in Paris, we made 2 tracks. He came in the room direct here. Just need to plug the microphone here, because now we have very quiet and very compact stuff compared to the Neve and SSL before. And that's why I'm not using the vocal booth like that. I just have the singer close to me. It's go much more easier, and I'm producing much more faster like that. And in the other hand, I'm doing some electronic and techno and dubstep thing. That's why I really appreciate this kind of speakers, because you can do classical, let's say classical music, classical mix, but also something very deep or very experimental. Like, you know, actually I'm producing the new Jean-Michel Jarre album, so I'm producing here in this room. So I like the way of using the Focal SM9 with different kind of music.